It's time now for your weekly fishing reports and real-time outdoor news from the Southwest region. This is Fox Sports Outdoors Southwest.
Hi everybody, I am so happy to have you in on this week's episode because we're going to be sharing some information with you in the next half hour that's going to help you catch more bass in the upcoming summer months. There is a pattern, a technique that's been sweeping the professional bass fishing circuits called deep cranking for bass. And they have been wearing out the big bass all throughout the southeast on the Tennessee River chain of lakes, at Lake Fork, and several other lakes across our south and southwest regions. And on today's show, we're going to pass along how that works, the gear that you'll need to catch them, and where you need to be looking. To help us do that, we're going to bring you in right now to a lake that I've never actually been on before. In the background, this is beautiful Lyndon B. Johnson Reservoir. It's located just north and west of Austin, Texas. It's got a good population of largemouth bass and should help us demonstrate this technique that will work on your favorite lake as well. And while I've got the Nitro Z8 bass boat out in Lyndon B. Johnson for my first ever trip here, we're going to be taking you around the region for your very latest fishing reports from our team of expert insider reporters on your favorite lakes, rivers, and bays. So right now, let's get this started by taking you back to the FSN studios for your weekend planner.
The Salooner tables are predicting a nice opportunity for weekend fishing. Overall, Saturday is listed as good, and Sunday is forecast to have excellent game fish activity, with the best daylight hours beginning at 10:41 in the morning. Expect the sun to rise at 6:47 and set at 8:18. And we'll have a full moon this weekend, so evening skies should be bright. We're coming right back with all the current freshwater and coastal fishing information from around the Southwest. Plus, Ott Defoe joins us on the Whataburger Ask the Pro. First though, here's a look at some of the photos entered in our Costa Catch of the Week contest. These entries didn't win, but are definitely worth a look.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Costa Sunglasses. See what's out there. By Luz, setting a new standard in fishing performance. Feel the difference. By Strike King Lures, #1 in fishing. And by Aransas Electronics. Find, navigate, dominate.
There's one, hit it. There he comes. Decent little bass to get it started. All right, hey, welcome back everybody. Fox Sports Outdoors today, catching some of those. We're talking about one of the hottest techniques on the pro bass fishing trail, deep cranking river ledges and underwater humps, underwater islands and drop-offs, that kind of thing. You can see there that bass has got a big mouthful of crankbait. This technique is all about really one thing, and that's location. You have got to find the right location. What is the right location, especially in the summertime? It's a sharp drop-off near deep water. That is absolutely prime for catching these bass. Kind of a skinny, that bass needs to go eat something and stop eating so many crankbaits. Anyway, so you've got to find those spots, and I'll show you a couple of these spots on my chart here, just to give you some idea of the type of spots you're looking for. But you can see these spots have those tight contour lines, those little thin lines that run in a circle close together. You want the ones that are close together. That means the drop off is very steep, very sharp. They want to be where they can run off in deep water and sit, and when they get hungry, get ready to feed, they want to run up on those sharp, steep ledges in that 12 to 16 feet of water, chase shad, chase bait fish, and this crankbait imitates either a thread fin or a gizzard shad. We'll give you a look at several baits that will work a little bit later on in the show in the Academy Sports and Outdoors Right Stuff. Let's get your fishing reports started for this week. Let's go to Cajun Phil over in Louisiana.
Hi friends, Cajun Phil here with your Fox Louisiana fishing report. I tell you what, let's start off with Toledo Bend. Talked to Joe Jocelyn just a while ago, just got off the phone with him. Joe said they've been hammering right now, lots of bass. He said early morning and late afternoon seems to be doing the best, although he said don't forget nighttime fishing on Toledo Bend right now is the way to go. But he said during the daytime, lots of small school bass, they're everywhere. And he said, but most of the time he likes to fish early in the morning, first 2 or 3 hours, late afternoon, last 2 or 3 hours. He's throwing Carolina rig and drop shot, and he's doing really well on nice bass on Toledo Bend. He said also still catching a few brim on Toledo Bend, and he saw some guys that came in with some nice white perch this week. So Toledo Bend wouldn't be a bad bet right now. Let's talk about the Atchafalaya Basin. My friends down there, they're doing good. Talked to a couple of them throwing the fly rods. They catching goggle-eye, bluegill, chickapin, white perch, and bass all on a fly rod right now. They're throwing a little Tex popper. They said the bass fishing there, pretty good. So especially if you work the tides, get around one of the corners, any of the cuts coming out of the marshes, you're going to do good on the bass. They're small, crankbaits a little, -1 type of crankbait, something that's not going to run very deep. Also single spin spinnerbaits. White skirt, chartreuse skirt, gold glaze been working the best. Water's real dark coffee color over there. As far as saltwater, it's awesome, off the chart. Come on down to Cajun Paradise, Lodge and Charters. We'll put you on some fish.
Got one. Good fish. All right. Straight down. Up. Oh, we've got another one with him. Golly, he's got another 4-pounder with him. It's about a 4-pound fish right there. No, it's not 4. All right. There we go. Man, that was cool. He had another one every bit that size or even bigger with him. All right, welcome back everybody. Fox Sports Outdoors today at Lyndon B. Johnson Lake in Central Texas. The primary way you catch these fish is with a really deep diving crankbait. You need a crankbait that'll run 15 to 20 feet deep. But there's one other good way to catch them, and that is with a big, heavy swim bait. You can see that right there. See, it's got a big paddle tail on it, big, heavy gauge stainless steel hook. I've got a lead head up inside the body of the bait. That's a Strike King Shadowlicious right there. Primarily, you want to be where that ridge falls off, which means you want to position your boat back out in the deeper water, 25 to 35 feet deep. Make big, long casts. You need a good reel, some good Stren fluorocast line, and make big, long casts and bring it down the edge of the ridge. Most of the time where the fish are going to be laying is right on that ledge where it breaks off into deeper water. They will feed and they'll run up shallow on top of the ridge, but much of the time you need to really keep your boat positioned off in that deep water. For another reason too, you don't want to spook any, man, I had another hit right there. You don't want to spook any fish that are up there. So stay off deep, make big long casts, and work your way down the ridge, down your ledge. Location is critical first, boat position is critical second. Stay back off the fish. All right, let's get you some more fishing and lake reports from our insider team of reporters. Gary Dollahan in Oklahoma.
Hey, we have lots of Oklahoma anglers who are continuing to take advantage of the fact that we have lower than usual summertime water temperatures, and we're continuing to get rain in many parts across the state. Among them are Mike Taylor and Jimmy Talbot of Okmulgee. Now, those two guys have fished together for many years, but over the past 3 weeks, they've been fishing together using different techniques and going to places like Hudson, Fort Gibson, Eufaula, and Dripping Springs, so they're able to repeat these techniques in the different places they're going to. They're confident they can use them at many places across the state to catch fish at this time. What Jimmy is doing is making a cast with a sweet swimmer rigged on a 3/16-ounce jig head, and then holding the rod tip high as he retrieves that bait back, trying to keep it about 2 to 3 feet under the surface, catching good numbers and good quality of fish by doing that. What Mike is doing is rigging a saw flicker by tearing off the legs, embedding the hook inside to make it weedless, and using no weight, and then tossing it in and around the willow grass, which we have lots of in our Oklahoma waters at this time, around the shoreline, and then also in and around the standing timber out in open water. He lets the bait sink, gives it a twitch or two when it hits the bottom, reels it back in, makes another cast. That are keying on water depths of 6 to 8 feet. You need to try that on your next outing here in Oklahoma. Hey, I also want to give a big old happy birthday shout out to Oklahoma celebrity angler Jimmy Houston, who turned 70 last week. Now his wife Chris and family members held a big old surprise party for him. They got him good. Lots of industry professionals were there, including Forrest Wood and George Cochran, many others. He was also surprised by a live performance of the Nashville recording artist Eddie Reisner, who wrote and recorded his Jimmy Houston Outdoors theme song. Jimmy, congratulations on that big old milestone birthday. If only we could all be so lucky to still grow bangs at 70 and catch them like you do along the tournament trail. But Jimmy learned a long time ago, you can't catch them if you don't get them.
There, she's got it. Got it. Come up here, darling. Swimming at the boat quickly. All right. Oh, I had him in the tongue of all places. Man, what a weird place to hook a fish. That one hit Strike King Tour Grade football jig. All right, ledge fishing out here. This is where they go in the summertime. It's out here on these deep ledges, and we've actually got them working a little bit. So we'll let that one go back. What a beautiful fish, long, dark, skinny. Look at that. I want to mention a big change that we've made, making things easier on you. In the past, we've put all of our past episodes up on our YouTube channel, and we've been having you go there, and hundreds of thousands of you have done exactly that. We're making it easy now. We're taking it to the website. Fox Sports Outdoors is all you have to remember. Go there. Everything is there, including our latest episode on the front page. Right below that is a link to a page that's got all of our past episodes, and we've got them all the way back to 2012, all the lakes in the region. You can go catch up, learn something about any lake you want to go to anywhere in our region. Stay with us. We're coming back to Lyndon B. Johnson Lake right after this.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Exide AGM Marine Batteries. Starts like new, stays like new longer. By Gene LaRue and Bobby Garland Lures. With our baits, a good day of fishing is in the bag. By Motor Guide, trolling motors engineered for anglers. By Nitro Performance Fishing Boats, welcome to the big leagues. By Fort Worth Nissan, Fox Sports Outdoors is powered by Fort Worth Nissan. And by Whataburger. Get your day started at Whataburger with the new jalapeno cheddar biscuit.
There's one. Well, he's digging down deep. Now he's coming up. Oh, good fish, good bass. Look at this. All right. Let's just flop him in here. Oh, yeah, how about that? All right, hey, welcome back, everybody. There's you a good crankbait bass. We're talking about this deep cranking technique, and you do need a deep diving crankbait. That's the Strike King 6XD, which runs probably 15 feet deep, something like that. They make the 10XD, which dives even deeper. I'll show that to you later. There's you a good quality bass right there. This is an open water technique. We're gonna let that one go back. Let me tell you this, Keith Combs was using this technique in the Texas Bass Classic back this spring at Lake Fork. Broke the all-time Texas record for 15 heaviest bass in a 3-day tournament. 110 pounds of largemouth bass for 15 bass. They also catch big ones over at Pickwick in Tennessee, at Kentucky Lake up in Kentucky and Tennessee. Because they're open water fish, they run in bunches, and you can not only catch one, you can catch 4, 5, 6, 10, 12 bass, literally throwing in the exact same spot. Since they're not shore-bound fish, they're not as spooky, they're not as apt to disperse when you catch one of them. So mark that spot with a waypoint if you've got good electronics like my Lowrance HDS units here, or find some way to mark it. Throw a marker buoy overboard and fish that spot thoroughly. You could catch a bunch, and they could all be big ones. Hey, let's get you some more fishing reports right now from your local region. Let's go to Texas freshwater with Brian Hughes.
Hi folks, this week's Lone Star Lakes is brought to you by Executive Outfitters, Texas's premier dove hunting outfitters. Now we're on Lake Ray Roberts, where you can catch sand bass out on the main lake over the deep humps and brush piles using topwaters like baby torpedoes and pop-Rs. Then try your 1/4 ounce traps, and finally you'll use your jigging spoons and slabs to get down and catch the deep fish. For bass on Ray Roberts, you'll want to Carolina rig the timber, and that's back up in the north ends of the lake around the smaller creeks that are full of timber. Matter of fact, there's so much timber, you need to look at creek channels as a guiding place on where to start. Using your jigs and Carolina rigs will get you caught. However, remember, there are so many zebra mussels in Ray Roberts, you need to frequently retie your fishing line. And finally, you can catch crappie also on the deep water brush piles that the Corps of Engineers placed on Lake Ray Roberts. And one other tip for you, for the crappie fishermen, Cedar Creek is also on deep water brush pile crappie bite right now in the hot summer in Texas. That's this week's Lone Star Lakes, brought to you by Executive Outfitters. Now let's check in with Mr. Bill Olson. He's on the coast.
Hi folks, this week's report is brought to you by Port Aransas on Mustang Island, the fishing capital of Texas, where anglers enjoy pristine bays, estuaries, 18 miles of surf, and the deep blue waters of the Gulf of Mexico. Plus, the local restaurants will even cook your catch come sundown. Come fish and play Texas Island style. For more information, visit portaransas.org. More timely and seasonal patterns are being experienced by anglers along the Texas coast. However, there continues to be periods when winds have been strong or continue to have a westerly influence and have things stirred. All on the Texas coast, the Intracoastal Waterway is a good place to escape the winds. When winds have been light, the surf and short rigs on the upper coast are giving up some good trout. Use a Carolina rig when fishing live bait, or a 1/4, 3/8, or 1/2 ounce jig head with artificial lures. Now, redfish continue to show signs of schooling activity on Sabine. On the middle coast, redfish have been on Estes Flats, Packery Flats, and around Yarborough. Deeper holes and reefs are holding fish in Galveston, Matagorda, Espiritu Santo, and San Antonio bays. West Matagorda's deeper grass is holding both trout and redfish. Anglers fishing croaker behind St. Joe Island, the Spoil Islands around the Corpus Christi or Ingleside Channel, and along Laguna shores to the King Ranch shoreline have been rewarded with trout. Baffin Bay has given up some big trout around the deeper rocks. The jetties are good options for a variety of fish out of Port Mansfield and Port Isabel. The grass flats out of Port Mansfield, around Three Islands, Gaswell Flats, and South Bay have fish hitting live and artificial baits under a popping cork. Offshore has been a little rough, however, anglers are continuing to catch redfish and sharks with some nice mangrove snapper out of Freeport. Along the middle coast, shrimp boats continue to be targets for those looking for Dorado, tuna, and kings. This weekend, both Saturday and Sunday have a double tide schedule of 2 high and 2 low tides each day. I'm Bill Olson, and I'll see you on the coast.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Right stuff, low price, every day. By Mercury Marine, celebrating 75 years of marine excellence. By Strin Fishing Lines, the standard of dependability. And by Tracker Boats. It's more than just a boat, it's a tracker.
Welcome back, everyone. It's time for the Whataburger Ask the Pro, where viewers get insider tips from top anglers. This week's question comes from Tim, who would like to know, if you could pick just one rod for bass fishing, what length and action would you choose and why? For the answer, we checked with Bassmaster Elite Angler Ott Defoe.
If I could pick just one rod for bass fishing, it would probably be a 7-foot, 2-inch, medium heavy, fast action rod. And that really can it'll work for anything. It's good for some, but that would work for almost anything you could really pick up.
Thanks, Ott. If you need help from one of the pros, visit our website and follow the Ask the Pro link to submit your question. Now let's see who wins a new pair of sunglasses on the Costa Catch of the Week.
This week's winner in the Costa Catch of the Week contest is Gary Rowe of Wagoner, Oklahoma, showing off a 6-pound, 2-ounce smallmouth bass he caught at 10 Killer Lake in Oklahoma. If you would like to enter our Costa Catch of the Week contest, have a chance to win a brand new pair of Costa sunglasses, all you have to do is go to our website at foxsportsoutdoors.com, and on the right-hand side of the front page is the Costa Catch of the Week area. Click there, follow the instructions to send us your big fish photo, and you could be our next winner. And you can see all of the Costa frame styles and lens styles at the Costa website. Again, go back to the front page of our website, foxsportsoutdoors.com, click on the Costa logo, you can see all the frame and lens styles that Costa makes, including the frame styles that I was wearing on this week's episode at Lyndon B. Johnson Reservoir in Texas. This frame style is called Brine. This week on the Academy Sports and Outdoors Right Stuff feature, you do need pretty highly specialized gear. You want to do some of this ledge bass fishing this summer at a lake near you using the techniques we showed you today. And it all begins with a great crankbait rod. You need a specialized crankbait rod. This is the Lew's David Fritz Speed Stick Cranking Series rod. It's got lots of flex in the tip half of the rod, to get lots of strength in the butt half, and it's got a special cranking handle that allows you to put your entire palm inside the handle, hold onto that rod all day long very comfortably. As far as the baits are concerned, on the left, that's the Strike King 6XD that dives to about 15 or 16 feet. Next to that is the big Strike King 10XD that dives more than 20 feet deep. Then you can throw a swim bait. That's a Strike King Shadowlicious swim bait. Comes in a 5 or a 6-inch model. And on the right, you can throw a jig. That's a Strike King Tour Grade football head jig. As far as the line, you will need special line to do this as well. You need Stren fluorocarbon line. That is Stren fluorocast, and I would go no larger than 17-pound cast. Recently, I was riding my bike in a park when I spotted a guy and a girl sitting on the shore with a couple of bobbers out fishing, and it looked like they were having such a great time, and it got me to thinking. I have access to a lot of great gear and a lot of really cool gadgets, but it's not the gear and the gadgets that make fishing fun. It's the experience of fishing, especially when it's done with a kid or an elderly person like a grandparent. Remember, it's okay to fish off the bank. It's okay to fish off a dock. It's okay to use a minnow or an earthworm or a cane pole or bobbers. We need to remember to not get so wrapped up in gear and gadgets that we forget that it's the experience of fishing that makes it fun and worthwhile. I hope you enjoyed our trip today to Lyndon B. Johnson Lake in the hill country of Central Texas using this hot new technique, ledge fishing for largemouth bass with big crankbaits and jigs and swim baits. I can promise you that if you'll give it a try on a lake near you, it will catch you some great bass. Don't forget to join us for next week's episode. We'll be on Thursday at 10:30 p.m. with the repeat airing Saturday morning at 7:30 a.m. And if that time ever changes, you'll be the first to know on the front page of our website at foxsportsoutdoors.com. You can also see the latest episode of our show 24/7 right on the front page. And brand new, you can see all of the past archived episodes linked right on the front page of our website as well. And don't forget to see all the latest photos, video, and fishing news and information on our Twitter feed at our Twitter address you see on your screen. You can also catch up with us on our Facebook page, the Facebook address there as well. From Lyndon B. Johnson Lake in Central Texas, until next week, I'm Barry Stokes. Be safe, have fun. Bye-bye, y'all.